Welcome back. You're watching Your Story, and we continue with our focus on today's crime statistics. Police Minister Bheki Cele and the South African Police Service leadership today revealed the latest crime stats. And amongst other alarming numbers, they announced a rise in the murder rate. One person is killed every 25 minutes now in South Africa. The minister said that he had to admit that the police had dropped the ball. Well, to tell us their view, I'm now joined by Police and Prisons Civil Rights Union Popcru spokesperson Richard Mamabolo. Thanks very much for joining us. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Have your members in the police dropped the ball, as the minister has said?
Look, I'm not here to play a blame game. I think we really need to look into facts here. I think over the years we've been raising a number of issues. I mean, the fact that the minister himself confirmed that the police, the number of police have dropped by 10,000 confirms that there are challenges there. And in fact, we're currently having a staff complement of 191, which has to look after a population of 57 million. So when you look at the ratio, it's not even possible that the SAPS can be in a position to obviously ensure that they kept crime. Again, part of the other issues that we've been raising has been the issue around restructuring the SAPS. In fact, out of the 191,000 that are there, a huge chunk is working at national and provincial offices. Those are people who sit behind desks, behind air-conditioned offices, and yet there are lack of police on the ground. Yet again, the infrastructural integrity of our police stations has been dilapidating over the years. The SAPS needs to look into all those factors which lead to what he would call dropping the ball before they can actually accuse the actual police officers. I mean, we've lost over 85 police officers. That's shocking, really. And most of the killings happened within police stations, areas where people are supposed to feel safe.
So more police officers and better equipment, better resources, will that curb crime? Look,
policing is not only a police issue. I think if we are to isolate the discussion to focusing on the role of police alone, we agree that in the short term there should be measures taken in to ensure that crime is reduced. But in the long run, we obviously need the general society. We need different departments to play a role. I mean, the fact that you've got many young people who are not going to school speaks to the levels of education. We need to obviously build up society considering the many other socio-economic factors that affect our people, the higher levels of unemployment and inequality. South Africa is considered one of the most unequal societies in the world. So what would you expect from that condition? So we need interdepartmental plans that would obviously work into ensuring that we deal with crime in that manner. Police can only play a certain role, but without communities, nothing will ever change, really.
So the former police minister once said that, you know, people only join the police if they can't do anything else. And I just wonder, looking at your members, do you think that across the board we have the best quality of person becoming a police officer? Or is this a transit for a lot of people until they get a better job or a different job?
Look, I would not know about that, but what I definitely know is that the majority of our police officers remain committed to serving the people of South Africa. And of course, I mean, going into the police service, you know that you put your life at risk. So it would not be a transitional thing for most, you know. I think there have been many, in fact, that statement actually from whoever said it undermines the efforts that many of those who passed away put into ensuring that the lives of their community members and the lives of South Africans are kept safe at night. So most of our police officers are committed to saving the people of South Africa.
So gender crime is one of the issues that it was talked about. And one of the issues that women always talk about is the treatment that they get when they come to police stations. Have you been sensitizing your members, training them to be more sensitive to these cases and not just dealing with it and saying, it's domestic?
Yeah, sure. In fact, something interesting happened today. You'd remember that they said that, sexual violence and obviously all those violence that happen behind closed doors have increased by 0.9%. That points to two things, really. The first being that it means that people are going out to report the cases, which is a campaign that the SAPS has been running for, I think, seriously now, for the past 2 years. It shows that it's working, but it also presents an opportunity to say, because we do not know currently as to how far this thing is rife, you know, it presents an opportunity that we further have more campaigns which would obviously look into this, but also ensure that there's education. I think one of the challenges that many have done was that when there are issues around men, they instead decide to discuss those issues as women themselves without including men, because if men are perpetrators, they also need to be engaged. They need to understand that in the current society that we live in, we are equals and we need to respect each other as such.
All right, Richard Mamabolo, we're going to have to leave it there. Spokesperson at Popcru, thanks very much indeed for coming through and sharing your thoughts with us today. Thank you. All right, that was the spokesperson of Popcru. Saying that they need help and support, that the number of policemen has decreased significantly over time, making their job even more challenging.